Right now, XRP, along with Bitcoin and most of the rest of the crypto market, isn't doing anything terribly exciting. So is this actually the calm before the storm? Because in this video, I'm going to talk about what some of the updates are with the Ripple versus the SEC case, as well as some of the price action of what Bitcoin's doing, what the trend analysis says, and what XRP and Sologenic, which of course is on the XRP ledger, what they are doing from a price perspective, and could we be seeing an additional 20% drop before a big push. So I'm going to talk about some of the factors involved in that, as well as talk about the video that I released yesterday regarding the Bill Hinman emails, and not the ones you're thinking about. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. Right now on this channel, we are covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, but I'm also covering cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all those topics interest you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the Late Night Grind community. Also, if you do three things, smash the thumbs up button, watch this video to the end, and check out my Patreon, link in the description below. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about was actually the Ripple versus the SEC case, because there's a couple of updates that just happened yesterday. Number one, both Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, the executives of Ripple, filed their answers to the SEC's original amended complaint. Basically, way back in December of 2020 is when the SEC sued Ripple. In January, they amended the complaint a little bit, as well as submitted a bunch of questions to the executives that they had to answer. Well, they waited till literally the very last day they could to submit their answers back to the SEC. Now, I'm sure there's a strategic reason for that, probably because it only gives the SEC a certain amount of time to figure out if they need more time for discovery. But I wanted to bring that up because it brings up a few things that the SEC has been doing, which is play the delay game. At every chance they get, they ask for an extension of time. They submit motions asking for more time, and it seems that they are experts at playing this delay game. Now, I wanted to ask Attorney Jeremy Hogan, if you indeed are watching this, why the courts would actually allow the SEC to, once they get these answers, that they are allowed yet another week to decide if indeed there is even more discovery that they would want to do. Because in my opinion, of course, there's always more discovery that they would want to do. Obviously, I'm not a legal expert, but I'm following along with this case, and it just seems like the courts are always giving the SEC the benefit of the doubt and giving them what they want, at least in terms of time frame. So let me know if this is just par for the course. Okay, so this brings up a couple of dates that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Now that the answers from Brad and Chris were submitted, we're going to be looking at the upcoming dates of April 15th, which is actually the deadline that the SEC has to tell the judge if they want more discovery. I still don't know why they're allowed to do that. Also, we're going to be looking at April 22nd. That is the date in which the SEC and Ripple both have to file a joint proposed order on briefings for the summary judgment. And in my opinion, this is where the exciting stuff starts to come in. This is where hopefully we can start to see some time frames for the possibility of the ending of this case, or at least a trial for this case, or a potential settlement. Because as of the news that came out yesterday about Bill Hinman, nothing looks good for the SEC right now. So right now, we're still waiting on the decisions from Judge Netburn regarding the reconsideration motion on the original Hinman emails. Of course, we're still waiting on the decision for the Esterbrook notes, a decision on the redactions that the SEC wants to make, and a couple other things. So the judge has a few decisions that she's going to be bringing down, and there's a possibility they may all come in the same day. And always make sure you're subscribed to the Late Night Grind community so you can be up to date on that, as well as follow me on Twitter. Links in the description below. And I also wanted to comment on the video that I released yesterday, which of course were the emails that came out about Bill Hinman that were released by the Empower Oversight Committee, which is in the process of litigation with the SEC. Through a Freedom of Information Act request, they received some emails from a long time ago, from years ago, of Bill Hinman's communication with the SEC Office of Ethics. They warned him multiple times not to have communications with Simpson Thacher, his former employer, of which they found out he is actually receiving money, and it wasn't just retirement money, it was based on profitability of Simpson Thacher, who of course bet big on Bitcoin and Ethereum just before Bill Hinman gave his Ethereum free pass speech. So you can go check out that full video yesterday after you watch this one. It is still going viral all over Twitter, all over YouTube. This is not a good look for the SEC. Multiple people on Twitter are now calling for big-time investigations into the SEC. So if you are on Twitter, make sure you find some of these tweets and tweet at your senators at the Senate Banking Committee. Both Republicans and Democrats should be interested in this story. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the price action. If you are looking to go one way or the other on things like XRP, Bitcoin, and and one that I'm also going to mention, Sologenic, which is also climbing. So right now, Bitcoin is continuing its sideways trend. It's been in a downtrend since it bumped up against the top of a regression channel, up at about the 48,000 mark, and has since been trending back down. And if you follow the trends, at least from a charting perspective, that there's going to be a big support right around 39 to 40,000. Now, is it actually going to get down there? Well, it might, because a lot of people thought that when it was at 48,000, it wasn't going to get back to 44,000 or 43, and right now we're closing in on 42,000. So 39 to 40,000 could be that next big trend bump, where some of the analysts that I'm watching are expecting it to bounce off of and basically catapult from there, or at least that's what the hopium says. But not just the hopium, a lot of the charts and the data are starting to say the same thing. So if you're looking at the price of XRP, XRP's literally followed Bitcoin to a T for the most part the last couple of weeks. What's going on right now is no different. So XRP, their trend line is a little bit lower. It's down at about 60 to 62 cents. Could be their bounce off of it, could be their bounce, could be their trend line bounce. So if you're paying attention to the price of XRP on a daily basis, that's another potential spot you might want to look out for. That's definitely one that I am keeping an eye on. And on the XRP ledger, of course, we now have Sologenic, which made big moves the other day, is continuing to make some big moves today. It's up 12% in the last 24 hours. It's back up close to 58 cents and climbing. It's also seeing a lot more volume. And I saw on Twitter that there was a soccer superstar, or if you're not in the US, a football superstar, and his name is Trevor Shaloba. And what he's doing is releasing his own NFT collection called the Astronauties on Sologenic NFT Marketplace. Now, of course, he made a video about it, and you can go and check that out on Twitter, but he's launching his own NFT collection, which I thought was really interesting. He's got a huge follower base. Like I said, he's a football star for the Chelsea FC soccer team, soccer/football, depending on where you are in the world. So it's really interesting to see somebody like that jumping on and now releasing their own collection on Sologenic. In my opinion, this is going to be one of those next big NFT places to keep an eye on. And in my opinion, of course, it's going to be helping that price of Sologenic overall. So it's the weekend, and as of right now, Bitcoin has just been consolidating and pretty much moving sideways for the vast majority of the day. So nothing crazy to watch, and if you're trading, well, it's even more boring than watching grass grow. But let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are on some of these price movements of Bitcoin and XRP and Sologenic, as well as I would like to see your prediction on what's going to happen next, in this case with the Ripple versus the SEC. In my opinion, one of the biggest judgments that the judge has to make is on the Bill Hinman emails. All the emails that are wrapped around the speech that he gave, there's 63 different iterations that the judge said they need to come to light, and the SEC, of course, is trying to claim DPP, trying to hide them. So we're going to see who wins out, but that's definitely one to keep an eye on. So if you want to follow along with that story or any of these other stories that I cover on the Late Night Grind, make sure you subscribe to the Late Night Grind channel. Also, like I said, you can follow me on Twitter, links in the description below, along with that Patreon account. And some new content that I'm coming out with for my Patreon is doing a deep dive into what I call some of the best opportunities of 2022 regarding some of the altcoins that you might have never seen, with the best risk-reward ratio. So if that might interest you, you can go ahead and check out my Patreon. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button, checking out my Patreon, follow me on Twitter, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.